we're back to the PPC. Right now, we're changing region. We're flipping the script a little bit. We're ready some for, Brazilian games. So we're expecting a little bit, different meta.
You could say
Probably
that.
a money, yeah, I'm scared to say that. But yeah, something different. Because in EU, it's all about Ruckus. It's all about banning Ruckus or picking Ruckus. And, using that tank meta as we saw before with Ash and in case Zanara as a combination. But yeah, North America, for example, we see Khan so many times and he's really appreciated as a pick. In Brazil, yeah, Omani most of the times, but also they are pretty much playing everything out of the box. They don't have a very super specific oriented meta, so they play whatever they want to. And even though a couple of times they even did a pirate ship, so
Yeah.
we cannot make any predictions because everybody just gonna play what they want. They're just gonna play what they feel comfortable with. But Chris, what do we have for our first game? What are we expecting right now?
Well, I'll run you through the map bans here, and I can give you an idea of what's up because I forgot to type them to you during that break. But the bans for Parallax were Bizarre and Shattered Desert, so two of the wider maps I think in the pool, and then Ignite responded with Jaguar Falls and Splitstone Quarry, so maps that we're kind of used to seeing now being taken out by them to look at things in a different way. And Parallax, they're going to bring us to Stone Keep, so map 2, I believe, of the last set, more of a standard map, I would say, now being played here. But we'll take a look. We'll see how they want to approach it as we head into the picks and bans between these two teams. Parallax, they are first pick because they lost the coin flip last time, but let's take a look at how they want to approach this draft against Ignite, because Ignite have been a kind of a unique team. You mentioned Imani. They were one of the only teams to play Imani, really. Not many people have really been picking it up, but definitely want to see them do that, see if they change anything else around it.
Yeah, and for example, yesterday we saw the rising of Grok as an anti-tank, meta. You take Grok, there's no shields around, so you can basically, charge that ultimate super fast. Let's see if it's actually Brazil. They want to follow in the other region's footstep. But right now the first ban is going to be a Rom. Pretty standard, of course, in Stone Keep. Corvus, of course, super strong in Stone Keep too, especially onto the church side. I'm expecting at this point Vivian, Victor, and Droxus is gone, so they don't want to deal with that verticality at all, even though they have many hit scans at their disposal. And remember, this is a very sniper-heavy map if you want to roll that composition. So Janus is the next one to go. So there's no mark supports at all into this phase. So at this point, you can basically take a support by yourself and force a specific composition out of them. And Ash is going to be the first one onto the Parallax Gaming side. Let's see what Ignite Gaming have in store. I think a Grover can come up pretty easily, but there's still the possibility of a Will onto the other side, so it's a little bit risky. But yeah, we got Atlas, of course, and Zen. So right now, not super telling of what they're gonna roll. What do you expect? You think anything is gonna be different? You think a Terminus might show up eventually?
It's possible, I think, to pair with that Atlas, because they've kind of sacrificed the Inara to Parallax when they've managed to take that. But we could see it. I don't think we see it as much in Brazil. I feel like they tend to prioritize now Fernando, previously Barrack, still Barrack sometimes, a little bit over him. But looking at this, they have the Inara and Ash for the double aggressive, the solid tank combination here. Ash, we know how far she can go in. They need someone to pair with the Ash, I think, to go in with that. Maybe some flanker. I'd love to see that, but we need to see a response from Ignite Gaming on their side, and it'll be Strix. So on Stone Keep, they have an Ash to get onto him, and now they might have a vertical flanker potentially to follow up on him after.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem because as we saw times and times again, Strix super strong as a pick, super strong as a unit, but you need to have a nice cover onto your backside. If you have so many flankers onto the enemy team, you're bound to die over and over and over. But right now, Yang as a main support, that's a heal bot. She's going to be super useful inside that, inside those team fights, providing so much health. But also, Yinga has a pretty good base damage. All of a sudden, so you can find yourself, sniping alongside Strix. while also healing, from the back line. Bomb King and Baldamba coming up. I really like Bomb King, and I really like this particular pick because right now you have a double DPS composition, and Bomb, is a DPS, but he's super mobile thanks to that Poppy Bomb. So he can still put a lot of pressure, especially inside church. You still have a stun that you can use on point. And Torv coming up for Ignite Gaming as a last pick, giving that Xin basic survivability thanks to that bubble shield. So Xin will be able to be moving moving inside the enemy backline without a care in the world. And he'll be able to pick up quick kills, pretty quickly thanks to Strix. So basically a cleanup crew of sorts that you're able to rush down into the enemy backline thanks to a single bubble shield coming up from Torvald.
Yeah, the Torv will be able to protect, I think, the Xin and all that. I do like to see that the BK get picked. It's going to have to get aggressive, but I think BK doesn't really want to poppy in as often. I feel like it's a little bit easier for them to deal with him when he does that. So he's going to have to play at least a little bit slower here. But I do like that Torv's being picked. I just don't know if I'd love it against the Parallax comp. I feel like it really only deals with the Ashe more than anything. This tank that's going to be diving. BK not really going to be able to get as aggressive, but we'll take a look at maybe how they want to approach this as we head into the game here between these two teams. Parallax, this is their map pick to start things off, and we'll take a look at how this game ends up playing out, how they want to position.
Yeah, as you said before, there need to be playing a little bit slowly with that Bomb King, but still, he has the verticality, he can still move, from various places and levels, so he can control the high ground pretty easily. He has a stun. He can reposition the enemy team if they collapse on him. So overall, a pretty solid pick more than often. We just the only problem is that giant hitbox that you have at your disposal and that giant head. So with Strix, that results in basically every single time he shoots, you get an headshot. So he needs to be very aware of that. And also, even a body shot from Strix is super dangerous against single Bomb King.
Oh man, look at that stack. They're literally sending every single player there onto the far side as they go inside. But now, Krons will have to move and contest the objective. They can't leave that completely alone for now. But we'll see how the Strix will deal with it. Strix will be able to free farm this Inara maybe, but playing around his angles, I think, really well. They're only giving Kubi's Krons to shoot at.
Absolutely, yes. Right now, Victor just controlling the whole situation. But as I said before, there you go. Right now, Xin with the counter, Xin with the shield, and Torvald coming from behind. Baldamba actually keeping Victor alive, but he needs to relocate and relocate fast. Because right now, there's a problem right there onto the backline. We see Parallax Gaming right now at 50%, getting that point of them. They still have an Ashe in a critical condition. Victor actually not being able to deal with this, Xin at all. First blood is gonna come, and of course Inara being completely ignored on to the point. She's gonna die eventually.
And look at this. Look how fast he's charging up his ultimate, and the guillotine will take him down. But essentially, this does set them up onto this objective. And now we'll get off him, so we don't have to hear that Torvald yelling in our ears anymore. But he's so aggressive, Spexy manages to stop him, but they're getting this cap time, and Ornstein has to be really careful here to sit on this point and see if they can maybe give up some ground for this. But Krons will come back in. Penny wasn't looking in the Anar early damage and finding a pick onto the Torvald.
That's pretty good from Parallax Gaming. A little bit of a, falling down for the Ignite. They had a little bit of a problem right there by losing the main two bodies, getting onto the point. I think Xin is playing super, super well right now, actually touching the point, giving overtime to his team, but he needs to find a kill, and he needs to find it fast. There's no way they can actually cap this thing, because right now, Baldamba using that ultimate just to clear the entire point. They still aren't touching it. They still need to control a little bit more of the situation. Victor onto the other side, actually taking a couple of shots. Bomb King controlling the entirety of Strix, and also he has a King Bomb at this disposal. Ignite Gaming coming back strong with this single capture, and I don't know, they had the complete reversal, a complete sweep out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, the quick turnaround by them, they managed to slowly bully them out, but Parallax, they have enough sustain in their comp to stay inside, but now they have to fight into an illusory rift, but burst damage from Bomb King might be enough. At the very least, gets them this high ground, but not much more than that. With Kubi sitting still in a pretty decent spot, but the Ignite Gaming used the Exile to try to take some more space.
Yeah, and right now QB needs to be and stay at statue. It's going to be difficult for him to deal with all that DPS coming from Ignite Gaming. And yeah, Ignite just standing strong, standing tall against the enemy team, who's in a very critical spot. But then again, supported over and over and over by the Torvald. Still have a King Bomb at our disposal, but he needs to find the right spot. He needs to find an opening. Because right now, I think Parallax Gaming are going stronger. Ignite needs to defend a little bit better. They need to be a little bit more aggressive against that Bomb King.
Yeah, for sure. They need to find a way to bully him out. But Espexi just connects all those stickies and makes it significantly harder for them to go through. But look at this. The second chance got used, so now they have this high ground, and Mitau will be able to fire kind of uncontested. Mr. Strix now trading back in. They have to be so careful because he's not going to be able to beat a Torvald pocketed Strix way back by their spawn.
Absolutely. And right now, though, the payload is just moving without any control. And just pushed. Yeah, there was no control onto that payload, and they just got a free, easy 2-0.
What? How did they not? Everyone was alive, Morlo. They just let it go in. They had both tanks up. Ornstein, I guess, was playing back to defend, but Kronz just rolls it right in front of them. They just needed to rotate one person down. But they just could not do it in time, and Parallax, they find the opening and they take advantage of it, but Ignite, they had signs of life. They just have to not be, I think, panicked a little bit about what's happening on the other side, right? They have to not worried that they're fighting Parallax. All right, everyone, Death Ball will protect each other. Oh, the card already rolled in, just unable to move a tank down there. That's kind of what happens when you have this solo tank Atlas who's holding above up top, so you need to have somebody willing to actually move and contest that card.
And more time than others, we saw Zin actually contesting points and going in since he had that bubble shield. But yeah, it's not going to be enough. You need to place your tank inside the fight. And I just feel they didn't like calculate enough time or enough of a respawn. Like they just didn't notice, probably. Sometimes it happens, you know, sometimes you have a misplay, especially when you're defending us against an onslaught of bombs from, you know, Parallax Gaming. But yeah, let's see what's gonna happen if something will change into the upcoming round, because right now they're still not trading kills, so nothing is really happening apart from Inara standing on point, pretty much uncontested. And yeah, Ignite Gaming having a little bit of trouble right here, actually. Midtown using that ultimate to get that kill, just pushing through aggressively enough.
Yeah, the use of the barrage to kill the Atlas is one of the bigger counterplays that Victor has into him, and one of the few that Atlas has in general, honestly, as they try to keep this happening. But great use of the grenade, but it's still 1-for-1s every time Ignite has the answer. It's just Parallax is playing the point game a little bit better, and that's where Ignite needs to figure this out. But they have the respawns. They're now ready to fight into them, but no use of the setback. Ornstein is playing really safe with his cooldowns and ends up whiffing it and might just fall for it.
Oof, he needs to be very, very careful right now. Of course, that sets also from the other side. Yeah, I don't know. Deja Vu was so impactful before, but right now, I don't really see him inside the backline. I don't really see him doing any kind of play, any kind of kill for that matter. Nobody's really killing, and in all that, you know, heat of the moment, Parallax are just gonna cap, you know, pretty easily without any kind of contesting at all.
They're finally making it onto the point, but Kronz is so smart at being able to get in and get out without really taking too much damage. But look at just the way their comp is set up. Ignite can't stay there. They have to use some ultimates to make things work. They keep killing tanks, but somehow, even with that, they keep losing this objective as Kronz is standing here strong.
They're winning by losing. They're not taking enough kills. They just got one with Zin, but nothing really came out of it, because right now, Parallax Gaming, they're super strong. They used actually the ultimate with King Bomb, ready to roll, ready to take a kill. Ooh, nothing really happened. Ignite Gaming having a big problem right there. And yeah, taking a couple of kills. Parallax not really able to respond in any way or capacity. Yeah, Ignite, they're going to take the point at last, but at what cost? They had to use basically everything.
Yeah, they had to spend basically a little bit of everything to make it work, but they end up winning this slow fight at the end of it. It was a really long back-and-forth contest, but Ignite getting the better of it off of the back of Kubi's, I think. Both of the DPS on Ignite so impactful right now, cleaning up the kills and also having Deja Vu just to delay in front of them, actually contesting. But here comes the assert dominance, and it finds two.
And there you go, Kubit's completely deleted, and that's going to be huge for Parallax right now, setting up a very nice defense They need to find us in, and they're going to do that thanks to Spexy. Actually, that's a pretty nice kill right there, and they're pushing them back into spawn. And when you have a Bomb King, remember, that's a lot of AoE damage, a lot of control. Even though you don't need to fire at them directly, you can set up bombs, you know, near the corners and just pop those bolts off.
Yeah, well, look at that aggression, too. Even with them getting zoned out in spawn, Deja Vu is doing so much on this Sin. Again, both of these DPSs are really keeping Ignite in this game. Also, that setback actually fantastic to keep this going and set up Deja Vu with his 3rd kill of this fight.
Yeah, they're capitalizing onto the enemy, you know, onto those kills right now, and yeah, it's working. Actually, apparently, the cart is not moving though. The payload is super still right now, thanks to Inara. They're basically wasting a lot of time. Ignite Gaming, Parallax actually having the best tempo. They just need to set up a nice defense onto the high ground. They will be able to probably take this one out.
Yeah, we'll see how well they can set up Kubi's here in this trade for Ignite Gaming, but see how close they are as they hold here. Great setback, but it's just to reset the cooldowns as they end up running this through here. Bernstein forced down right away. The setback didn't get as much at first, and now they're getting pushed down.
Yeah, Bomb King right now trying to do as much as he can. Victor actually getting pushed off the cliff. So there's one less DPS, but you still have so much CC coming up from Bomb King. Never mind, scratch that. Bomb King is completely dead. They got a couple of kills more, and I think there's no way Ash is going to be able to contest this one.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if they can make it back. They're going to have Kron's back up in time as this cart does get just a little
Nobody's
bit closer.
touching, though. Nobody's touching, though. Nobody's going in right now. It's just going to launch herself. It's going to be super risky. She can still wall herself off, but you need to be very careful. You need to pay attention right now. You can see she's trying to survive thanks to Gorge. That's the stun. Ooh, she's not going to connect with anybody, and she's going to die. Nobody's actually touching right now. They need to be super aware of that. Victor actually sacrificing himself for the team. Bomb King just raining down terror upon the enemies. But yeah, Atlas is not going down easily. And yeah, they're just going to play around this Atlas over and over and over. Inara is back. I don't think they will be able to contest once more. And yeah, Ignite Gaming, they're not going to lose the point. They're going to lose the push.
Yeah, having a solo tank, and yes, I know they have Torvald, but Torvald is definitely more of a support than he is a tank. Having what is effectively a solo tank and one that is Atlas, who I'm just going to take a real quick check. He's not rushing Chronos, which is what I would do on solo tank Atlas most of the time. Once he falls, they can't make it happen. They can't continue that fight to keep going. So just a very tough game for Ignite. If Ornstein falls, it's a lot of pressure on him to keep it contested into Kronz and Dintic on arguably one of the best tank combos in the game. Inara and Ashe able to get away with so much, especially both of them being paired with solid healing supports. But Ignite now, they have resilience. They should be able to deal with some of the CC on their teams, but assert dominance can still be impactful, just keeping someone immune in the middle.
That's true, that's true. We just need to see how she's gonna play it. But right now, also, the same composition as before. They basically went out of a full stack inside Church. They want to use the high ground thanks to Bomb King. It's gonna be useful for sure, but yeah, they're not finding any kills because everybody's just hiding onto the other side. Right now, Bomb King actually jumping in, super risky as a play, but he still finds a kill. He still finds a worth value out of that, and right now Parallax Gaming just stomping out everybody. Torvald being body blocked by Ashe. They're just finding a lot of value, a lot of tempo, and yeah, he's not moving. He's not moving. They staggered him out so much, and yeah, they played it pretty well. I think we all know where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, perfect stagger there on him right now as Kronz continues to get aggressive, but they're kind of caught inside here. Atlas stopped though, and again, he's the one who has to touch this point. Zin couldn't even make it. He gets killed at the last second. Parallax, they're gonna win off the back of that. I know they had the advantage, but Ignite, they had a chance, and Parallax found the answer right when it mattered. Catch that Zin mid-dash. He's the only one who could have touched.
Indeed, and that happened before. Like, Zin was able to actually extend the overtime, and then they basically won onto the long run. They had a very slow gameplay, and they were able to actually kept a single point. They had also the possibility of pushing, but that didn't happen this time particularly. I don't know about that. Like, it was very much set in stone when nobody was countering a Spexy. He just basically jumped down with that Poppy Bomb, as I said before, completely uncontested, and he just used the Kim Bomb inside the entire team fight.
Yeah, I mean, using that, we was talking about how they have the resilience, so the CC is not going to be quite as effective, but hey, King Bomb at CC, but it's mostly damage. So that's still going to be impactful for them to clean up on that. And you mentioned them being a heal bot, but look at Outlander on this Damba out healing Ying, who we normally would say mostly has that. She really only has the healing utility and I guess the body block utility from the illusions, but a decent amount of value from that. The tanks on Parallax, not high in the kill department. No one really particularly high in the kill department outside of course, the DPSs on the side of Ignite, both 11 and 8 for them, but I think it was just such a slow, grindy game, and Parallax have just more experience to be able to know the better plays in the fights that go that long.
Yeah, they kept the fight longer a little bit. Like, they had so much control because they had so much CC. And then, in a long way, how many bombs can you actually avoid, in the long run? How many times can you avoid the Inara? How many times are you going to try to kill Inara? You waste so much time, so much energy and resources just to kill one body, and then he's going to respawn in 6 seconds. And also, she's going to have the high ground, so it's super hard to be focused and concentrated for that amount of time. I think the Zin and Torv combo was pretty good. They did well into the first round. We saw that basically Inara died because Maldamba was so focused on keeping Victor alive, and Victor was fighting off and firing over and over again. But then Zin basically fell off. He didn't do as much damage. He was super focused. He didn't have lots of opening to just, get that kill and then get out. And I think the Strix also did not do his job correctly. He was positioning well enough for sure, but he did not have any, impressive gameplay. He was not killing enough. He was not finding those snipes. And with a Bomb King, you have such a huge hitbox. You're bound to have at least a couple headshots, but he was super uncontested.
Yeah, I would agree. And Ignite now, reeling off the back of that one, want to find a map where maybe they can keep some distance from what they had and rely even harder on that Strix that was doing at least decently there. So we are going to head to Fish Market for map number 2. So a pretty wide open map, one that can be slowed down here, but we'll take a look at the bans, how they want to approach this, and just seeing how things change going from one map to a pretty different map.
Chris, aren't you happy? This is the first time we're casting Fish Market together. We never had Fish Market. So why though? Because Fish is a little bit strange. You have so many boxes and you can basically play tippy-toe with your enemy. You can have a tank and you can just, pop back in, back out using those boxes. Just cover yourself from enemy fire. At this point, Fernando, comes to mind as such a good pick. But yeah, with those bans, we see Genos, we see Ruckus, probably Vivian is going to go in a while. And, Shaolin instead. That's pretty interesting. That means that Rom could be a potential first pick from Ignite Gaming. Let's see if Parallax finds, about that right now. But remember, you still have the Grover. So even though you pick Rom, you can still have a little bit of a trouble trying to get in. Corvus is going to be the first one. And what do you expect from Parallax, though?
I think in response to the Corvus, I think I want to see maybe an aggressive off-tank, like you mentioned, the ROM, and maybe a decent backline can also function pretty effectively there. They can go for those snipers. They're all still available there, but we'll see. I also want to mention, you said that the Shaolin might have been targeted more towards countering the ROM, but it really is kind of just a ban aimed at a Spexy. He was the person forcing people to ban Shaolin when no one was playing Shaolin, basically. But right now, Parallax, they listen to us. They pick up that Ashe to have the aggressive tank, and then after that, they go towards a Leon. So Leon, not commonly seen. Sometimes we see some of the controller DPSs kind of fall back to it, but Mitao probably going to feel comfortable on it. It has that long distance damage, being able to burst people down with that eminence, and being mobile also makes you a little bit easier to survive dives on this map.
I completely forgot. But yeah, Shaolin, he's basically immense from Parallax Gaming. They changed and flipped the script, and he became a very meta pick just thanks to one player. But yeah, as I said though, Rom actually getting picked from Ignite Gaming, so it kind of checks out at the end of the day. That forces Parallax to pick a deep route. Just to deal with him, and if you don't deal with him, even though you have Genos, for example, and a couple of other picks, is going to be able to just roam through the entire point, getting to your backline. Is going to be really annoying also to deal with. thanks to the stun also, because he can just get into your back and kill everybody off. But who is going to follow up with Rom, Androxus, and the others? The last pick is going to be very telling on the full-on strategy taken by Ignite Gaming, and it's going to be a Strix, okay? So Androxus is just a cleanup crew per se to get those kills, and it's going to be Khan. Interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I think having a more stationary comp other than the ROM, it can backfire maybe, just having a draft that's so split, right? Because Strix and Khan, they're going to do their thing. Khan will protect the Strix will snipe, ROM and Andro will have to get aggressive. There's nothing else really you could do with those characters. That's just what they're kind of set to do. The ROM is definitely going to be the one that's kind of stuck in one lane here, but Parallax, interesting one. I think Ignite's going to have to play slow because of that, just holding back I think from that Maeve and Torv, because if they dive in, that's what Torvald counters. Torv is an anti-dive support, effectively, even though he is a tank here, but just not necessarily going to be great to be aggressive into, and they might have to rethink the way that they position on this map to play around this ROM.
Yeah, I don't know. I think right now, both of these compositions are super strong. They're pretty much the same as before. Changes just a little bit because, of course, Fish Market is super, stretched out, super long. Lots of elbows where you can basically fight over and over and over and gain a lot of tempo. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing that we're going to see consistently is Khan basically grabbing somebody, pushing them off into the distance and getting that environmental kill, but also Maeve completely uncontested because you don't have a Cassie, so that ultimate is going to be super annoying inside team fights. And also you have a Lian, works from short range, works from long range, medium is where she falls off a little bit. But I think we're ready for Fish Market. Let's see if they actually do something, see if they actually want to go with that aggressive gameplay.
Yeah, we'll see how forward Penny and Deja Vu are willing to go. I mean, we know Deja Vu can get away with quite a bit. He's an excellent Androxus player, so definitely might be more willing to push into what Parallax had. But we saw just how good Parallax were at playing that slow game before. We saw them kind of just out-surviving in Stone Keep. But that was a different map. They had an Inara on that one who they've completely bypassed here on this map. But again, we'll see how Dintic, and I'm assuming he's going to be paired with Espexi on this Leon. I like that combination, and I'm going to take a look at this build. So yeah, basically refilling Espexi's clip all the time is going to make him very hard to deal with, and they're actually going very deep into the backline right now.
It's going to be a little bit risky, but you have a Torvald, so you're basically all set up and ready to go. Strix actually taking a full-on body shot on her. She needs to pay a little bit of attention. She needs to be more careful, actually going onto the backline once after another. Aldamba also in a very critical position. They need to be very aware because right now Khan is turning his head and he's ready to go against the Lian. And she's gone, completely stomped out. Even the healer, of course, right now being taken off. So yeah, they need to play a little bit safer because, they're losing each and every one of them. Yeah, there's another one. And also losing points. I don't know. I'm pretty confused right now.
That death ball was just... I mean, they all just ended up collapsing on top of each other, and using all the sustain made it so hard to get kills. Zeed's almost finished up a couple kills, but eventually Ignite get the better of it. But they rotate back in here onto the objective to get some cap time. So Ignite Parallax will get a small advantage out of that, but will now have to be sent flying back. So they're actually giving up cap time just to rotate over. No one's coming back to the point, but they just want to kill a Spexy so bad they're willing to sacrifice some cap time.
That's pretty much useful if they manage to get him, but she's basically moving all around, Torvald supporting it all over again. But yeah, right now Ignite Gaming just collapsing onto the enemy team, taking all those kills. It's gonna be a rampage, and of course the point is pretty much free, staggering a little bit against that Maeve. So now full-on control from Doxus. He's gonna pop the first mount. He's gonna go with the second one right now, and they're pretty much completely back to spawn. No way to defend, no way to touch the point, and that's the problem on Fish Market. When you lose the point, you're gonna lose it hard.
Yeah, for sure. You can zone so far forward once you actually get it, especially hit scan make you get dismounted so far back as well. But Parallax, they're gonna use the Midnight, get a little bit more space in Orange Scheme now. I think it's just getting super pressured out, and now they can stop this card. But Mitzow, he wants to help his team get the kills.
Midtown actually right now has been a pretty clear-cut situation. He needs to focus a little bit more. Maybe helping the Ashe a little bit might find out a kill onto the Androxus. And yeah, he finds it. So right now the control situation comes in for Ignite Gaming. Parallax needs to find out another kill, maybe onto this ROM or the others, as he's pretty much isolated from everybody else. And me, as I said before, pretty much uncontested. This map is so large, she's able to basically move around as she pleases. ROM right now in the middle of the fight, a little bit risky for him. Deja Vu, same thing, getting the little retribution back, but of course the damage is still stacking over and over and over, and they're finding each and every single spot and angle, nooks and cranny, to just get those kills. And Khan probably is going to be the other to fall down. No, actually, there's no kill right there. Kills right back to so far, but yeah, they need to wait a little bit longer because 1 minute is not going to be enough to push.
Yeah, the great use, I think, of the Hyper Beam to knock off the ROM. He almost survived, but the cooldown was perfectly timed to let them get back into this as they managed to get back into this objective. But they need to be careful. They need to, I think, play close enough to protect Boobies because here comes the push of Specs. He's in, and he's getting shot from behind by Midtown, just completely collapsed on.
Ooh, nice one right now. Taking that kill is going to be a huge value. Parallax Gaming, they need a couple more, but right now, oh my god, Penny, a little bit too aggressive there, but that's fine. At this point, it's going to be a 1-2-1 probably. There's no way they're going to be able to push this insane amount of damage. Yeah, and also remember, each and every time they get a kill, they're pushed back to way beyond expected because this map is just so long. Khan actually taking a big L right now from Parallax. Parallax actually trying to find a nice defense right there. They're still gonna go at it. Penny, once again, completely isolated. This ROM actually not taking the backside, but taking this kind of side lanes for that matter to try to find a kill or at least to push a little bit. But it's not gonna be enough. And yeah, Deja Vu takes another kill. Is gonna get shot down pretty easily, and the defense is gonna be successful.
Yeah, just barely not making it there was Penny, but let's see what ultimates they managed to hold on to there. Looks like a little bit of everything, just not having the flashbang there for Kubies. But that's more of a, again, reactionary ult anyway. He'll charge it pretty quickly for sure. But looking at this, composition-wise, I liked how Parallax were playing that defense, how they were catching people out in the middle of it, but it's just so much harder to do on the mid-fights, I think, when everyone's playing more spread out, not necessarily trying to center around that one area. It's easier to isolate someone, but when they're clumped up, definitely not as easy to catch someone alone, where it seems like those fights are where Ignite are falling apart here. But we'll take a look at how Ignite position here again with the ultimates that they have. Overpower will actually cut to his POV, and on Ornstein here we'll see how the Khan manages to use this ultimate, one of the most impactful in the game. And if you miss it on Khan, people say that could be the difference between winning and losing a match.
Absolutely, because you get out of it a free kill, so you need to be successful, you need to be consistent with it, and as I said before, there you go, you have such a long map, and also, you take such a long time to just fall down. That's a lot of tempo, that's a lot of value that you find out of a single ultimate, that you actually recharge pretty fast, thanks to that ammo and, you know, fast attack. So right now, me trying to find another kill onto the Androxus, she's gonna get shut down pretty easily. Nobody actually going onto the point as a, you know, as a point anchor. But yeah, everybody just finding and trying to snipe and getting kills and stuff like that. Nobody's really playing around that point.
Yeah, they're setting far back, but look at this fight just happening in the back. Oh, they're continuing to fight off of the objective, but there's no cap time coming in. Grons, he'll make this jump happen, but not much else was really happening, and this engagement's still happening for her off with no one capping the objective.
I don't know if it was super worth it right there, because of course you want to assert dominance, you want to survive. Yeah, she took the point right now, but I don't know why nobody focused there, because like she was completely alone. She was a free kill. She was able to actually get on point, you know, get a little bit of cap, go right back, get skilled up, and now they're ready to roll right back once again. And yeah, the situation for Androxus is not super safe right now. They can still find that kill and, you know, push it through it.
They have someone holding on the side to Spexy, manages to flank a little bit, and the Hyper Beam hits basically nothing, just knocking them away. But Parallax find the first pick, and they need to keep going off of them.
First one to go. But right now it's more of a trade, of course, because Deja Vu finds another one. Ready to roll with Midtown, finding that verticality. Needs to be very aware. Khan right now, super annoying for him, because he finds that hit scan over and over again. So, yeah, maybe it needs to be more aware of her space and situation. But once again, you know, you're a Meve, you have a Torva, you have that bubble shield. You can be a little bit more aggressive than usual. But yeah, you need to find those kills. You need to find that space. Right now, Rom putting pressure onto the backline. Corvus used the ultimate. Nothing came from it. Still going down. They're still going down and dirty. Khan finds another kill. That could be the make it or breaking point. But yeah, right now, Ignite Gaming, they took a bunch of kills. A super well clean sweep. Androx is going to go against Leon 1v1. Still has that verticality, remember. And he's not going to find the kill.
Yeah, they're still holding on the objective. Ornstein right now getting capped. Do they have the overtime trigger? It looks like they do. Outlander was on it just long enough, but forced away. They still have to sit on this point. Will Parallax actually turn this around? This is one of the longest fights I've actually ever seen in Paladins, just ever, in terms of contesting a point. Ignite, they have another chance to make it go even longer and break some sort of Guinness World Record as Penny gets the overtime, and this is the deciding battle.
And remember, Penny's almost at full capacity with that ultimate, so he can actually make a play. And there you go, he takes the stun. Right now, there's not such a huge follow-up, but Strix onto the other side, trying to get that snipe. But Moldava is completely out, so no support, no heals, no sustain. That's another kill coming gone, hot from the back of Khan. And they got the objective. Right now, Ignite Gaming playing a superb game out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was a great retake, and honestly, shoutouts to Ornstein, who got 2 overpowers in that mid, connected them both on Torvald, and just chucked him off the map. Definitely helps a bit when there's no bubbles in a comp that really relies on having that level of sustain, but they're going to move forward, use their hit scans to dismount them really early. Continue this going on from here, but an Accursed Arm, kind of a Hail Mary, doesn't connect, and Parallax has something more static, more sure in the Assert Dominance.
Yeah, that was hurting. Like, that was super strong right there. Ash retaking, of course, the point. Taking that kill right there. But right now, we're going to wait and see what's going to happen. Because remember, there's a lot of space for her to actually be useful, especially near the last straw, near the river. She can make a lot of environmental kills, so you cannot stay super close to the payload right now. Need to find the kill on Ash and then move on. Androx is back into the fray, back into the fight. Leon onto the other side, trying to snipe him out, trying to scope a little bit of Khan too. Midnight Pulse popping in, so everybody's in disarray. Everybody's just panicking. That's the double kill coming in hot from Midtown. And we're ready to roll once again.
And Dintek cleans up another as well, so having this Torvald just to keep them alive in these fights definitely helpful right now as Zeeds jumps off the map, knows that he can't keep this fight going any longer, but on the other side, Deja Vu, he's confident, way more confident than Zeeds just was. He'll kill Mitau and even things up and get another advantage for them as well.
That flick, that was insane! That was such a huge flick right there. He got the kill, he unlocked the situation, now they're ready to roll, they're ready to take another kill. Ash suffering so much against that Khan.
Yeah, as they keep moving forward with Rom and Khan. Again, both tanks that can dismount, getting aggressive, but they get countered out mid-dash by the Dread Serpent, actually. Penny wants to stay in the middle of them, but there's just too much damage coming in for him to get away with it.
There's nobody. Nobody's countering Rom. He's actually keeping himself alive for a long period of time. So, yeah, there was a trade right there. Midtown able to actually get the kill, but Androx is coming hot onto the backline, taking another one on Lian. Oh, there's another one coming out from Cubes. Lots of kills going in and out there. Maldamba is going to be staggered a little bit. Yeah, the bubble shield comes in, but he's just punching him to dash.
Yeah, and the Torvald not able to save him just enough. You generally want to do it to save someone in a 1v1. When you try to save someone that's in the middle of an entire team, it just delays their death for a moment longer. So not as much value going to be coming out there. But Torvald still, I think, I'll take a look at the shielding stats actually really quickly, because that's where we'll see his real value here. 92,000 over 2 rounds, so definitely quite a bit, especially with how long those rounds have been, honestly, back and forth between these teams. No one willing to capture the objective, and I would fully expect that to happen again this round as these teams, no one has anyone really willing to stand on the point. Just Ash versus Rom and Khan. Nobody wants to contest, but if one team gets aggressive before the other, if they can make it in, you know, and get an early win, then maybe we can see those fights end quicker. Maybe they'll be willing to get on the objective, but both these teams are playing so cautious, and I'm surprised to see Ignite winning, because that seemed to be what Parallax's game plan was on Stone Keep.
Yeah, and remember, Parallax, quote-unquote, is the better team. They are the one on top of the charts right now. Hold the phone, because Anthrax is actually using that ultimate, trying to create a little bit of space right now. Nothing came from it, but it's okay. That's a little bit of pressure. That's just what you need, because Rom has the stun, has the possibility of making a play against that healer and support. Rom takes the kill. That's going to be a huge one for them. And right now, possibilities are endless for Anthrax that takes another kill. That's a good trade-off. Right there, Strix trying to run away, but yeah, Parallax Gaming right now in super control of the situation. Nonetheless, they lost the healer, they still managed to get the point.
And I think Ignite actually have a way to get back in as well, of course, now, as long as they have this overpower, but actually also, Ornstein could use the little jump over here to go over the hook and make it to the objective, but he just waits for them to back off, and he comes into this looking for someone to pull with this, but they're all hiding, and they dive into whoever's trying to dive the back line, and it's Penny.
They know about that con. They're very aware, and I like that. I like that they're playing super careful around the objective, and that's just what you need to do. If they focus con, they won't be able to do much after, you know, from the part of Ignite Gaming. Yep, he missed. Oh, that's unfortunate right there.
Yeah, they needed that, I think, to really make this work. They managed to retake control, but again, I guess this is why no one's getting on the point, because look how fast Rom with full health goes from 100 to done, and now they have to make a miracle play with Deja Vu to turn this around.
Deja Vu right now trying to find the snipe. He still has verticality. No ultimate is going to come through in the next few seconds. He's just a little bit more charge. But yeah, right now, ooh, Leanne finding the good pick right there. Actually, trying to find another one onto that Strix, and Parallax Gaming, they're ready to roll. Actually contesting and getting the point. Takes the fear coming up from Moldamba. So yeah, they are basically in control. They got the point. They went away to just, you know, the little trick to avoid the taking back from the enemy team. And there you go. They're ready to roll for another push.
We'll see how Parallax managed to do this, because they lack range, I think, outside of a Spexy. So a lot of pressure on him if they want to actually convert this, but I mean, Kubi's is definitely big on range here. Cursed Arm on the right finds nothing, slows them down, but they're just waiting for that card anyway, and Ignite might be overstepping their boundaries here.
Need to be more careful. They wasted a couple of loads by now, and yeah, you need to find value in your ultimates. You need to find those kills. You need to find the pressure onto the enemy team. Of course, Leon was completely done for, so a little bit of a dance right there, but that's pretty chilling, because right now the situation is super strong for Parallax Gaming. Remember, when Ignite was pushing, they did not have that much time or that much space, and right now the pressure, it's immense coming up from Parallax, so they need a strategy, they need a plan to counteract and fast.
Yeah, we'll see what Parallax comes up with to break through this, because there's just a lot of pressure from every side for them to deal with here. But they can play the Maeve in Leon poke game, but again, Strix's damage from a distance is way stronger than what Leon has. She has to wait for those cooldowns every time she wants to burst, but they have a good split here, I think, having everyone slowly pushing this left. Only Midtown and main. They need to pressure Kubis if they want to make this work.
Midtown doesn't find it right, but he's still pressuring. You know, there's a little bit of a harass right there. Rom in a very dangerous zone. Oh, watch out. He's gonna go down. Parallax Gaming, they find the upper hand right here. They just need to pop off Deja Vu. And there you go. Deja Vu is gone. Khan is gone. Everybody's gone. And they're falling apart like bricks. And there you go. Parallax Gaming, they got themselves a point, my man.
Yeah, they should be able to roll it in. Yeah, no way for anyone to be able to contest. And the slow push on the left side ends up being exactly what they need. Having the Leon and the Ashe bully into the Rom. The Rom almost lived for quite a while, but a great reload stun by Outlander stops him in the middle of the dash. And now they're looking here to maybe turn this around. They set themselves back up to a 3-3, and whoever wins this mid will take this map. But Ignite have looked solid on these mid fights. Honestly, I think we just got to see Ornstein connect and overpower here. He hit 2 on one of the mid fights they won. He missed 1 on the only mid fight so far that they've lost. So very important, I think, for them to get value out of that, because without it, the con pick is not really worth it.
Yeah, as soon as you get the Torv out, you basically capitalize on the entire team, because no Bible Shield means that Neve cannot be so aggressive. Also, you cannot save your healer if he's in a bit of trouble or a bad spot. Also, Leanne cannot be so much aggressive as she used to be. Yeah, that kill is so much value. You need to find the Torv. I hope he finds it, but once again, you see Andraxis is just doing a little bit of a push, and there you go, Couch! You're gone out into space! They got the kill, they got the tempo, and they got the point.
And now without that Torvald, their sustain isn't anywhere near as good with Cauterized 3s up on the other side, and Ornstein getting pretty aggressive, but they're just staying stuck off of the objective, staying forced back, and the engagement from Penny should open some more doors to them with the Spexy being so low.
Ooh, so many kills available for Raman and Droxus. Look at that, it's a candy shop. They're just finding everything. Heads are popping off left and right. Deja Vu actually taking a double, and the others taking a fat L right now. Cubits, of course, is gonna get killed, but Liana, such a low HP Rom, and the others should be able to kill her.
Kronz actually makes it to the point on the Ashe, but they need to turn and burn him. This Ashe on the point might fall, but not enough damage there without either of their DPSs. Ornstein has to back off, and Parallax managed to get a retake because Ornstein just straight up ignored the Ashe over there. Could have maybe grabbed him, stopped the dash, but went to go fight everybody else, and now Ignite on the back foot after such a dominant start to this. Well, the Entropic Breach will force them off and buy them a little bit of time to figure out their plan.
A little bit of time though, Androxus needs to find that kill and needs to find it now because he has a good spot right there. He has a good structure. He can fight off the building, but yeah, also Khan is coming from behind. Nobody's touching the point from Ignite Gaming. They're focusing on kills and getting the high ground. Right now, the situation is a little bit dispersed. It's a little bit confusing because nobody wants to risk it. They're willing, and yeah, Ignite will be able to win it out of nowhere because nobody touched the point. Why?
After all of that, that whole game, one of the longest, stalematiest games I've ever seen on Fish Market, Kronz just leaves. 18 minutes straight of Fish Market where it was just bubbles, people barely being saved. Kronz went, today I will lose. That's all that happened.
They wanted the high ground though. They wanted that high ground. They were using it. I did not notice that nobody was touching the point. And they just lost it out of nowhere. I was not expecting that. Okay. Good job, Ignite, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. Khan found the kill thanks to the ultimate, so
yeah,
they deserve it.
Right? I mean,
but yeah,
that goes with our storyline here, right? He hit the overpower, so Kronz left the point. I mean, it just works, Merlo. It just works. Never wrong here at the Paladins community broadcast. Just ridiculous end. I think Kronz thought that the overtime would be longer, but there was just enough time for them to get back on, though. Shout-outs to Aspexy, by the way. 71,000 more damage than Kubi's had. This Leon was insane. Yes, I get that ROM kind of boosted that, but still an immense performance from Aspexy on this Leon.
And Spexy, remember, she was fighting off more than one people at a time, using that ultimate to just space out the damage and absorb it as much as possible. So yeah, very good from her, and very good indeed. And during those team fights, of course, Rom was not contested as much. So I feel that they really pulled through thanks to that, raw damage onto the backline. They really did an immense job of keeping the point alive over and over and over. Yeah. So yeah, Ignite, yeah, they deserve that point. They deserve that match right there. That was a huge Parallax mistake, but can happen time to time. So yeah, give it to them.
Listen, Merlo, I think I need to decompress after that game. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be back with the rest of this set.
And we're back to the PPC. My name is Merlo, with me, Kresnik. And what just happened last game, we cannot forget. Because
let's just not talk about it, Merlo. I don't even... I don't know what you're talking about. There was never a fish market. Somehow, I guess Parallax must have forfeited that last map because somehow Ignite are now even in score 1-1. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, I say jokingly they forfeited, but they basically just forfeited the point. That's what Cruns ended up actually doing, just abandoning it in Parallax now. They've been in the situation of being even in points before, right? We've seen teams get them this close, or at least stay competitive with them, but now Parallax, they want to take us to Brightmarsh, a map that can snowball, a map that is kind of flat, and a map where they have, I'd say, a decent amount of options for what they can actually pick and play.
Absolutely, as we said time and time again, Brightmarsh is a very standard map. Of course, the middle point is a box, so you can play basically whatever you want. But yeah, are we ready for picks and bans? I think we are. And of course, we're going to see a bunch of standards like Inara, like Ashe, and all the others, you know, that comes through that pick and ban phase, because you want to survive inside the box, but also you need to have that composition that will let you go, for example, on high ground as soon as you push, because, you know, you want to take them out into the respawn, but also you want to use that verticality. So Androxus is great, Willow is great, you know, all the others like Koga, they work like a charm and intended. And right now, the bond is going to come from Parallax. It's going to be a Rom, it's going to be a Torvald, so Ignited. They take out the Genos.
And the Corvus. I actually I mistyped. That was it was not Vivian. That was on me.
Oh, okay. And I guess Shaolin is available right now. Yeah. That's going to be a huge problem right there. And I think they know that. But they say, okay, let's just deal with it at this point. And Ara's going to be the first pick. That's okay. Parallax Gaming, they want to play meta. Super fine with that. If Vivian comes up from Ignite Gaming, and that means that since Genos is banned, you have Androxus, so you're going to focus more on DPS, flankers, and tanks. So the healers at this point are going to be Moldamba and, yeah, Grover, of all things.
Yeah, I think what they have here with the Vivian and the Andro, I think Vivian being picked up by Ignite is going to make things a lot harder to play Shaolin into, specifically because of the booty trap. What the reveal will make Shaolin's mobility not as slippery. I guess he's a lot easier, to take down when he uses that withdraw, when he resets that withdraw in Parallax. They're just going to ignore it. They're going to pick up the Cassie instead of that Shaolin, knowing that, so they have that ability to maybe burst down that Androxus that comes in. But Ignite, they've taken both their DPS now. They have no surprises they can pull out against Parallax now, and they're going to have to just hope their tanks are flexible enough to maybe adapt to whatever Parallax picked in these last two slots.
I don't know about adapting per se, but yeah, Fernando's going to come up. And we saw that Fernando pretty much in Brazil is king as part of the tank meta. Ying instead of Grover, that's fine. We saw Ying also last time. She's pretty much, you know, she's more flexible. She can move a lot faster than Grover. And also the damage is insane if you're able to pick, you know, the right spot, especially from window. Eevee and Moldamba coming up from Parallax Gaming. And I like this composition because Eevee is going to be king. She's going to have that verticality. And is this EU? Is this Europe? We're finally witnessing a ruckus, and then changes everything. Because, you know, you're basically flipping the script. Because, yeah, you have Androxus, if you have Vivian, and that's okay. You have another flanker, and it's called Ruckus. He's basically a tanky flanker. He's going to go into the back. He's going to trade, you know, those kills. If Ruckus gets behind and trades 1v1, and then also tanks a lot of damage and gains tempo over and over and over, it's fine. It just needs to find a kill to find value inside the enemy team.
I've also noticed that I feel like Brazil has kind of become this weird fusion of North America and Europe, where they're picking Torvald and they're banning and picking Ruckus on some maps. It's interesting, and we'll head into the map to see exactly how this Ruckus fares looking into them. But this is a great map for big game, a great tank composition to play into for big game, I think. So Midtown, very smart to pick that up. It's going to do great into the Nando. It's going to do great into the Ruckus, make this dive significantly harder. It's going to be a lot of pressure on how close together Deja Vu and Ornstein can play. Can they get in and find someone isolated to finish off that kill before getting torn to pieces by Mitto while he's waiting, or do it before Espexi and Dintic can crush your back line, because they've been playing so well together. And Ashe and Eevee is honestly one of the prime dives that you want to be drafting in this meta.
Yeah, super safe to do, super safe to pull off, and also tons of value as soon as you find a kill. But yeah, I'm super. I thank you that you basically are putting the focus on Ruckus, because this is a Brazilian Ruckus, and let's see how he fares out against the others. He's jumping in, he's finding his spot, he's finding his verticality right now. The emitter's popping off, and that's the damage over and over and over. Right now, a little bit of a slow gameplay. They still need to find the right spot, the right kill. Eevee popping off with the wormhole right now. Tight spot for Ignite Gaming, taking all those damage, you know, taking the pressure, taking the heat also, and backing off from the point. Inara actually getting inside into the box. Yeah, Orsney having a little bit of a problem. He's gonna get the first blood, and yeah, right now Parallax Gaming using the tempo, shooting off the Fernando, having a little bit of problem right there. Shield is off, Ash going in, but yeah, that's pretty much settles it.
I feel like Parallax are just all over them. It's really tough for Ignite to really have a response, but it's up to Deja Vu, I think, to make it happen. Spexy not really willing to take that fight, and this is just a common theme now in Brazil. I guess everyone just leaves the point as Kronz bails. Smart, though, I think. His team's surrounded. He wants to play with them so they can find the refight. But Ornskin has not really gotten much of anything here. I feel like he's just getting zoned out so hard by a Spexy and Parallax. They're playing so slow, they just can't find someone to dive because they're all playing so close together.
And also, that's not so much damage that you take directly, but it adds up, you know, after a while. It's still a blast kind of damage, type of damage. So it takes a while, but yeah, I don't know why. The pressure is insane. Right now, this rock is not working. Fernando actually trying to be a little bit of a flanker himself, going for the kill. But yeah, they're getting shut down pretty easily inside the building. And Parallax Gaming taking the first point. Ooh, Drux is going to follow soon after in the land of the dead. And yeah, they're pretty much gone. Ooh, that's going to be huge. Healer, Stutter, dies soon after.
Yeah, the stagger out by a Spexy was really great there to follow that up. And I gotta say, the fact that Parallax can just win a fight without their tank, Kron's just capping the point on the other side so they can win that post fight there. But Cursed Arm doesn't connect on everything. Deja Vu holds that Cursed Arm way too long, and Ignite just can't stop getting staggered out here.
And Ash right now shooting him from the sky, easy to do, but yeah, Cassie needs to find her footing a little bit more. Right now, that's the problem. You have the verticality and you are all cooped up in the respawn. Eevee is going to be able to just jump onto you, use that verticality, use that sword, and blink, and raining down terror upon your entire backline. You need to be super aware. Ruckus, of course, trying to do as much DPS as possible, but nobody's touching, nobody's contesting. Ruckus is gonna die soon after, right about now. Midtown taking a double kill out of nowhere. And yeah, Fernando's gonna be the only one to the contest, but doesn't have healing, doesn't have a shield. There's no way he's actually touching that point without dying. And Penny, yeah, he's not touching thanks to Ash, of course, and the knockback, but he was going to die soon after, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that he held on to the ultimate because there was really no reason to spend it there, having wasted it after two people went down. He tried to use it earlier, but when that doesn't get spent, I think you just hold on to it until the next mid-fight where it can be more impactful. But at the very least, the assert dominance is gone, not something they have to concern themselves with, being that heavy burst of CC and sustainability on the Ashe. Now, instead, they'll have to worry about the double CC ultimates that are coming out from Kronz and Outlander, the Seismic Crash, the Dread Serpent, all of that can go deep into the core of their team. If they can find someone on Ignite, isolated, they can immediately get a kill, but they know that. They're all rushing that resilience. They know what they need to stay alive. It's about how quickly Parallax can follow up on it, and they have hyper mobility for that in this Eevee.
And let's find about this Eevee gameplay on the Brugger's perspective, though. He's gonna pop his ultimate, but doesn't find any value, any kill at all. Fernando actually popping his ult himself. It's gonna keep the team a little bit more viable, and yeah, they're gonna survive a little bit longer, but Fernando is in a very critical spot right now. All the others getting poked from the back, thanks to Eevee. Eevee right now finding value, finding wormholes, turning heads, and taking a kill. Masterful play right there. Parallax Gaming. Oh my god, thanks in the chat.
I mean, fantastic fadeaway shot by him, and now Ignite have a big line to cross to make it into this objective. But everybody in the way here, and even Dintek going deep here in the middle of them. Assert dominance will get up. No cancel on the ceiling, but Kubis doesn't have the shield.
Yeah, it just bonked out of her life. Basically just jumping vertically. It's gonna be king right here, and yeah, Ash had all the space in the world to make that work. Ruckus, I don't know, this pick is not finding any kills, any space, any value at all. I don't know why.
And they're just shutting it down. They're playing really close together. I think having Big Game Cassie makes Ruckus really have to live on a timer, honestly, because he takes about 1,000 per shot with no way to really block it. But maybe it can work here. But look, they're not willing to dive because of the draft that Parallax end up having. And Ignite now flying back, all just getting chipped down. And this Ying can't keep up with all the damage they're taking.
I see no counterplay at all. There's no way they can unlock a kill. Look at the Eevee. The pressure is insane. Big Game Cassie right now going through at it. Look at those shots hitting consistently onto the Ruckus. Ruckus found out by all the others. They're gonna go inside the building. That's the kill coming from Midtown. But of course, Eevee was there as Paxi right now. King of the game, just putting so much pressure. Nobody's gonna touch on the payload. He's just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Right now, found a kill. Good to know. But it's not going to be enough. Not at this point of the game.
They actually catch Penny. He's so close to his ultimate. Might get it off in time, but he's holding on finally. Spends it when Ornstein gets very low, and they kill Mitau because of it, but everyone else lives, and the seismic crash is there for the follow-up.
Ooh, good comeback, though. Good comeback and good trade. Fernando's trying to staying alive. That's so much damage for him. The shield goes down. They need to find the pressure, or else it's going to be over. It's going to be over in a single push, and Ash is going to knock him back. The bonk is real. Right now, the wall from Monaro trying to snipe out Fernando. They need to reset and respawn, and yeah, look at the Eevee trying to actually escape from the other side. Not gonna be successful, but the pressure is still there. Fernando gonna fall down. There's nobody can touch the point, and it's gonna be a very fast sweep victory for Parallax Gaming.
I mean, even with Outlander going down, getting pressured super hard, the rest of the team didn't need him. Mitau comes back. The health pool that re-enters the fight is enough to turn it around. Kubi's couldn't do enough at that distance, so Mitau tears both tanks apart. Even with Nando, I think Nando did actually a really good job staying in that fight, not going down, even with all the damage going on to him. Penny, I think, fantastic at sustaining that. You can see how well he did, because look at that. He only had, 2,000 less damage than his Androxus of all characters, someone who's getting nerfed next patch because of that. So I think great job by the Nando, but just the dive from Ignite found, I don't know how to sugarcoat this. It found nothing, Merlot.
Yeah. It's super unfortunate. I don't know. They tried something different and it didn't work. But I want to tell you something. Nerf Aspexy. Aspexy was great in this game. He was looking super good. He was turning heads, taking names, taking kills, and creating so much pressures and openings inside the map. And you don't even realize that Aspexy played this kind of flanker, with a 4-1-8. But it was immense. It was super huge. Thanks also to Midtown. The combination was incredible, and it worked out pretty well until until the end. And also the tanks didn't die a single time, so that's pretty much very telling at this point of the game.
I mean, Midtown went 13-2. I don't know how anything can go differently when you have your backline damage dealer performing like that. So a great look from Parallax, saying, "Hey, by the way, we're still the best team in this region. How are you going to deal with us?" And Ignite, as they look for an answer, they're going to be looking towards what map will be next. It'll be Frog Isle. So Frog will be where Ignite make potentially their last stand, unless this map is enough comfort for them to be able to come back against Parallax, if they can catch Parallax off guard at all. As I get this prepared for you guys.
Ignite needs to find their footing. Of course, Frog Island usually gets banned because it's a very heavy-centered sniper map. Mm-hmm. So at this point, are you mechanically skilled enough to play a bunch of snipers and make them work? I think Parallax are 100% up to the task. Ignite, if they don't want to play that, they can still run a combination with Rom and a bunch of flankers. But yeah, we just need to see and witness what they're going to ban, what they're going to pick. Ash is going to be the first one from Parallax onto the other side. Genos and Shaolin are gone. That means that, of course, Parallax are able to draft a Vivian out of nowhere. Strix actually gets banned. So Vivian in the pool. Of course, Amani works pretty well in Frog Island, I might say. So that could be also an answer. And Corvus?
I said you're not wrong. Imani is great here because she doesn't have jumping and accuracy. That's a big part of it. Imani can jump and still hit her fireballs with perfect accuracy. So a lot of burst damage that can go kind of around corners, because the hitbox on those fireballs is also just massive. It's like a truck every single time she fires it at you.
You can take the wall, you can take the stairs and just jump and shoot, as we saw time and time again. But yeah, the answer for Parallax, we ban the Strix. We're going to take the only sniper left, and it's going to be Canessa. But that means that Victor could be a viable strategy, to counteract it. But as I said before, at this point, since we have Corvus, Honey heal. We have a mark at your disposal. We can go Torvald, we can go Zin, and a bunch of other flankers.
My bad on that. I actually, I saw Ashe. I saw Rom and was thinking, wow, I wonder if they'll get Ashe to follow that up, and I just typed Ashe. It's the same thing in effect. Don't mind me there, but it was Rom banned and Ashe first picked by Parallax there, which makes sense. You get rid of you get rid of one of the best aggressive tanks, and then you get the other one, and so you can have your sniper relatively uncontested. So I think it's a good setup there for them, and they need to find now someone else to, I think, protect the other lane potentially here. They have the Damba for the healing here for Parallax, and I think they might want a solid main tank to make up for it, and it'll be for Nando. So Nando will stop aggression in the main lane, but they're not going to be able to stop that Ashe dead and hurt the Inara dead and hurt tracks. The Inara will be able to walk past the Nando, and they just have to hope the Nando can at least come back and maybe Immortal to save them or whatever else they need to stop that pressure.
Absolutely, but at this point, you also have Ashe that can basically counteract any kind of aggression if she wants to be a pocket, but also she can go deep, into the enemy backline. She has a shared dominance, so that's another CC at your disposal. And also, you have basically an Immortal type deal of team, because Ashe is going to be Immortal, Fernando's going to be Immortal as soon as they pop the ultimate, and that's a lot of time that you can basically take onto the point. And Torvald is going to come up pretty huge pick in Frog Island, as I called it before. Amani coming in hot. I'm super excited to see this pick and to see if the ultimate will, change and flip the script inside team fights. But of course, Androx is pretty standard pick, pretty standard build. They scratch the Eevee. But of course, you have Androx. He's way more vertical. He can float. There's not really a DPS or a hit scan in the other team that can take you down, apart from Imani. But those Fireball are super slow. So I think Androx is pretty much a very nice game coming up from him. He's pretty much uncontested while in the air. So yeah, let's jump into the game as soon as possible, because I'm really excited right now.
Yeah, I have faith in Kubi's on this Amani, because Andro not that hard to knock down in the sky. They also do have Corvus Chip and potentially the heavy swing from the Zin there as well, who will be running the guillotine to take down those tanks. And Kronz, again, always falling back on this Scorch solo tank. I don't know how it's going to feel on this map, but if they want to get aggressive with it, it can work. That is definitely good for, not solo tank, but main tank, excuse me, just wrong lingo there. He's able to run it down with the Ashe now with that, but when he needs to stay alive as soon as that shield goes down, he's got nothing for, 10 seconds or so. Well, we'll see how that pays off. It's worked for them plenty of times before, and we'll see how Kronz makes that happen, but that Amani's going to be putting a lot of damage in. They're going to have to be aware and find some way to get on top of it.
Super aggressive Fernando coming up from Parallax Gaming. I wonder if that's going to work, but yeah, I like that. It's something different. It's a little bit more of DPS that you trade for sustain, but it's okay. You have so many objects, coming up from Totem, that you can survive the enemy fire. And look at the damage that is coming in. Of course, right now, Cubit's taking the first 2 kills. Amani dominating the fire space right now. Lots of Fireball, Liquid Fire coming in. So they're ready to go, and Torv is going to keep her safe. They're ready also to basically push them back to spawn. And Fernando and the others don't really have a saying in this matter, because they don't have a way to counter them.
Yeah, but they can't stay up forward because they're not a super tanky comp outside of their Inara, so they'll have to give up ground and maybe re-engage. But look at this, already charged is this guillotine.
Yep.
Dintic will get caught out, and that's an early pick for Ignite.
And that's going to be free, because nobody was going to counter him. And, of course, you still have the Torv, so you're safe, baby. You're safe to go in, be aggressive as much as you want. You have a bubble tank, and you have a bubble shield that you can use over and over and over. Right now, Androx is 1v1 against the Amani. Amani is going to try to find a spot, but, of course, she needs to also take the tanks down. And, yeah, Aspexy takes another kill onto the Torvald, so the entire team is going to collapse right now, because you don't have the tankiness, you don't have those shields. Everybody's going to fall off eventually. And yeah, as you can see, Androxus takes the step and tries to put a little bit of aggression into that back lane.
And this is, again, the problem with Torvald, because it's effectively solo tank. If you lose people, you lose your Inara, you have to just give up a lot of ground here. But we'll see what Deja Vu can do with that space being made. You have one super DPS as opposed to one tank, and actually knocked onto the point, but he falls to a Spexy.
Too bad he flew in the air, actually touched the point. That's gonna be huge for him. He actually also had the ultimate coming up pretty fast, but right now Inara taking all these shots from Kanessa. Kanessa being the better pick right now to control the entirety of the enemy team across the map. Amani still has the ultimate. It's the right time to pop it, and there you go. The dragon gets behind the wall, but the objective is getting captured because nobody was touching the point. That's a little bit unfortunate, but they can still recover. They can still defend pretty well, you know, since they have a pretty aggressive composition.
Yeah, plenty of time left, I think, for this to happen. But right now, Parallax don't want to give them a chance to recover. Deja Vu gets full comboed there by Dintic as they stagger out the Inara. But Torvald might actually get her out. That 50% movement speed will do wonders and zoom them away. But they're still trying to chase Nando and Andro, going so far forward ahead of the cart.
Andro right now. Oh, wow. What's that? Asserting dominance right there. Look at them. They're basically at the heaven's door. They're just touching the spawn, keeping them away. Inara cannot do that much. She does not deal pretty well with pressure. And yeah, right now, problem coming up from Ignite Gaming. Parallax just controlling the entire situation. Thanks to Kanessa and Androx, so you cannot go into the ground level. Thanks to Kanessa, you cannot go up in the air because Androxus has the verticality. What do you do at this point?
I don't know what you can. I mean, just buy as much time as you're able to, right, with Deja Vu playing next to the cart. But Mitao gets 3 in that fight, cleaning up Penny, and Parallax off to a roaring start here. But that could have gone the other way, honestly, with the way that first fight went. If they had just Ornstein touching the objective, that Dragon maybe turns the whole fight around, right? Kubi's isn't able to get far enough in with it, but still turns them and forces them to deal with it. But especially so hard to deal with on this Kanessa. Realistically, what do you do to break through the line? A Kanessa that you have no real aggressive tank. It's kind of all on Deja Vu, and he's playing great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with how Deja Vu's playing, but it's just hard. It's hard to go in when that Kanessa is around so many players on his team.
Game is hard, and Cubits, you know, he's doing great. He had those first 2 kills, and as you said before, Deja Vu also playing really well. They just need to do a little bit more. They need to be more aware, of course, of that Kanessa. She was pretty much uncontested in the last draw, so they need right now to impose a little bit of a more aggressive gameplay. And there you go. As I said, right now they're trying to find that kill, but Kanessa able to reposition herself. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be a huge waste right there, and Fernando's not gonna die. All the others actually collapse and going to the point right now. Torvald actually being a little bit of a problem. We see the dragon coming in. Is he gonna find any kill? It's dragon time. It's dragon time, but as you can see, he gets staggered and kited a long way.
Yeah, but right now, even if it doesn't find anything, we'll see what else Ignite does. Stunning Dintic, actually. Maybe they kill him, but Immortal saves him. They give up the point for it. Kronz lets it get to 97, and now all Ignite have to do is touch the point once without someone contesting it.
Absolutely. Right now, the situation doesn't look good for Parallax, but remember, Androxus still has an ultimate, still has verticality. That Fernando right there, that ultimate. Ooh, a Spexy just took a double kill. Fat L for the enemy team. Ignite having so many problems. Corvus not being able to actually leave the building because there's just so many shots. And the only hope you have is Zin with that guillotine to actually touch the point and kill somebody. But they're just piling on him, shooting him down over and over and over. It did not have a chance. That's a very fast game right now.
And look at this, actually. They thought they could kill Dintic, but he manages to get away with that healing from the Damba as he uses the battering ram damage reduction. But as they hold forward here, Parallax want to keep this push going. I'm surprised Ignite haven't really been able to slow things down at all as Kubi's just gets dueled out by Mitao. He's just unstoppable.
Mitao is incredible, but also Fernando. Look at the pressure. He's just a tank with that DPS build. He's doing magic. Of course, he's gonna die now, but the pressure is unstoppable. The cart is rolling over and over and over, and you can stop it with anything. Right now, a little bit of a stagger right here for Ornn. Trying to get as much time as possible. He needs to be very aware because right now it was super risky against that Ashe onto the border. But yeah, they managed to stop the push. But yeah, if they die now, it's over. They cannot let a kill fall through.
Yeah, they have to be careful, but Ignite actually getting very aggressive on this defense, even using the Seismic Crash, but they're countered out. They wall themselves off and can't follow up, so resources wasted, and they lose their Anar for it as well.
Oh no, honestly, too aggressive. Oh, they lost 2 important bodies, and Parallax, the gaming, wastes no time to get back into the fight and actually touching the point. Vanessa right now sniping down on Imani, and she's gonna get taken off. So right now it's just on Corvus and the others, but is it gonna be enough? I don't think so.
Maybe not. I mean, Spexy has to back up here with how quickly they're pushing him out, but I like the focus on him. I like how they're catching him when he's kind of isolated, and I also like Deja Vu just throwing out these guillotines to kill tanks to let him get forward. Look how aggressive he is. They're not able to stop him just yet.
He's doing great right now, but that, that action before, they needed to be a little bit more careful, and they went full on aggressive. Even right now, they're like super aggressive.
Merlot, do you think he should be careful now? Or should they worry?
He's just taking kills.
I'm just listening to Torvald here. I think he's saying the same thing you're saying, Merlot, that they need to be careful.
Just go in. Be careful. Don't worry. Just go in, and find those kills.
Been just enough for him to make it work.
I'm gonna be honest that they did a great aggression. They found the cracks, through Fernando. They got that kill, but again, it's super risky. It's a risky gameplay. It's a risky tactic. As soon as you fall down and lose 1 single body on your main tank, you're done for.
Yeah, they need to be definitely cautious, I think, with Ignite when they want to get aggressive, but it works out for them now with an amazing play from Deja Vu. Again, he is just the crux for their team right now. Top damaging, by the way, over Spexy on this Canessa, who has looked also fantastic here. I guess that's what happens when you just spam ults on tanks and you're getting percentage of their health pool added pretty effectively to your damage that you've dealt to this point. But Ignite, really, they're relying on Deja Vu so hard. If he doesn't get in and kill someone immediately, they're not able to win these fights in general. We saw he dove in, he forced Spexy back, he forced Kronz back, but he misses the ult. They don't get the immediate execute, and then Parallax just slowly push back in and work off of their sniper, who no one on the side of Ignite can really deal with.
I gotta say, big shout out to Torv, keeping Zin safe, basically, letting him do whatever he wants. But is it gonna be enough? Because right now it's another match, it's another roundup, and everybody, they got ultimates. So who's gonna use them better? Who's gonna, waste their ultimate? Who's gonna be effective in this matter? Because we see a dragon, but once again, it's not impactful as should be. Amani does not find, maybe just 1 kill right now onto the healer. That's going to be huge right there, actually. That's a lot of value from a single kill and a single ultimate, and you still have the guillotine to just kill Fernando or the others. Fernando using the Immortal right now. He's ready to get picked off by Zin, and timing! Oh, nothing happened. The kills came through. Oh my god, I was scared for a second.
Yeah, the timing just was not there for it as they try to make it in, backed off by the Dread Serpent, but it actually just tries to stop Deja Vu, but apparently nothing stops him because he's not afraid of that at all. But Outlander will get that follow-up kill, but Ignite, they hold objective control the entire time with them running it down. Ornstein's so aggressive, but he'll fall, and Parallax should be able to stabilize as they move even further forward here. Eagle Eye doing a ton of damage, but Parallax, they want to get super aggressive on this defense. They just like being in the spawn of Ignite Gaming.
Absolutely. You saw that Canessa also. Look at the damage. I mean, she was melting off tanks out of nowhere thanks to those headshots. Yeah, look at that. Super aggression right now. That's typical of Parallax Gaming. They love to do that. They love to create tempo, create space by just going at it nuts. They're super bananas, taking kills over and over and over. And that's going to work because as soon as you throw bodies, you're gonna get value, you're gonna get tempo, because Frog Island is super small, and if everybody's focused onto the main, team, the main bodies, the main DPS dealers, nobody's gonna focus Canessa, and she's gonna be able to do whatever she wants, getting those snipes, getting those headshots, and reposition herself to be able to, get a couple of kills more.
Yeah, definitely the Canessa, the most important player on this offense for them. I was so terrified of Tintic falling off the map there, but it seems like he's lived for now. But Ignite, they have to get back on this payload as soon as possible here. Kubi's kills Outlander with random spam and uses the dragon, so this will force them away. Trying to get the line of sight here, but see what else this dragon can find.
I don't know about this one, Chief. I really don't like this dragon used the way. Of course, they unlocked the situation, 100%, but 60 seconds is not a lot of time to set up a push, if you get what I'm saying.
It is Frog Isle, though. I mean, it can snowball, right? They can keep moving it forward if they have the chance to. And Deja Vu is definitely keeping up the pressure. Look at where Ornstein is. I mean, he's just in the middle of vines here, slowing them down, but he's also in the middle of them. This is what they needed.
Exactly. He can use one single ultimate and create a pretty big stun, a pretty big CC opportunity for the entire team. He did not find the enemy Moldamba, but he was super close right now. 20 seconds to go. We still have one last chance from Parallax Gaming to defend themselves into this massive, huge push. Fernando right now doing the damage against that Inara. Inara, actually, she's super tanky, but you see how much damage she's actually taking over and over and over. She still has the ultimate, though. Don't get me wrong. So she's still a threat. She's still super powerful, but you need to be aware of that, you know, each and every time.
Yeah, great damage being dealt by Deja Vu here. He's in the middle of them, too, of these DPS. They could go down, but the Torvald keeping him up and keeping him in the fight.
Absolutely, look at that healing, look at that self-sustain. He's able to come back into the... He's not dying, he's not dying, he's immortal. Takes the team to the victory point, and right now it's going to be down to the last wire, the last stretch. It's going to be a 3-on-3 right now.
Deja Vu just 1v3'd. Deja Vu 1v3'd and killed 2 people. That was a ridiculous fight by him. I mean, he gets the heavy swing onto Mitau, he gets the counter kill onto a Spexy in the core of all of them. Just... fantastic play by the end for Deja Vu. Again, so much of this game for them relies on him. Yeah, the Torvald has also been doing great here for them. Well, instead of healing, we're going to look at shielding. And, I mean, with a Nando on your team, if your Torv is doing that much shielding, I think that is a pretty crazy stat line to be taking a look at here. But Deja Vu definitely proving he's not just an Andro one-trick on this game. People keep banning it, picking it against him, but when you're performing this well on Xin, you're at least showing you can play more than one champion.
It just gives you that extra safety that you really need to pull off those ultimates, you know, to pull off that sick 1-on-3. And right now, he takes another kill, he takes another tank. That's going to be huge for them. Amani right now tries to find, as we said before, the jump and snipe. Ignite Gaming taking control, and remember, that's another dragon coming in. That's a possible kill onto Moldamba or a possible meltdown onto the enemy tank.
He could just hold it under this wall, too, and say, come in. I don't know if I like him committing it. It dies instantly. He could have just held it to burn anybody who comes to the point, force some ultimates, but now he's just playing the poke game, and Mitau is looking for his setup to go in.
Mitau trying to find a snipe, trying to find a kill. No can do. They need to find Torvald. Absolutely. Or that Xin is going to be unstoppable and uncontrollable. And Arva actually falls down. And right now, there's another field. Watch out for Deja Vu. Deja Vu is a very critical condition. They need to be very, very careful. Once again, Imani getting pushed back by the others. Parallax Gaming getting control of the whole point and situation. Deja Vu does not have a way to actually shut down a tank. So what are they going to do?
I don't know how they can make it in. They're trying to break through at least right now. Ornstein, look at the overtime. This is one thing, but they need to deal with a Spexy. Look where he is right now. Putting some good damage into Penny, who is completely isolated. But the team looks like the engagement might be coming in now. Ornstein, though, he falls!
Ooh, that's huge coming up from Parallax Gaming. Oh god, Deja Vu sacrificing himself, but there's another body onto the point, and Drox is putting on the pressure. Amani all by herself, everybody's gonna fall down, and Parallax Gaming takes the game with a very concrete swipe off at the last possible second, killing everybody. And Drox is, my god, what a carry right there.
I mean, I think what they really need, Deja Vu almost turned that around at the end, too, even with what Mitau was able to do, but I think they needed to do that just a couple seconds earlier. Give Ornstein some time to breathe. They went in after he went down. Imagine if they still had that tank in the fight. This game could be a 2-2. This game could be 2-2.
Absolutely.
It could keep going, but Parallax just run away with it because of their timing, and they continue to be on top of this region.
And I know Deja Vu did an amazing job, but was not enough. But what can you do? I mean, this game is pretty super depressing, if I'm going to be honest. He played his heart out. Like, he played at top level right there, and he still didn't manage to get the win, you know? And to Penny was always on point. Always there. I don't know how they could have played it differently, because they did everything in their power, you know? Everything was basically checking out for their end. But they lost at the end with an 18-11 from Deja Vu. I don't even know how they lost this one. I really don't know. It's just a matter of timing.
Yeah, I think they really could have kept it on their side. I mean, stats were killed death-wise, at least, in favor of Spexy, right? I mean, he went 14-4, did quite a bit for his team to prove why he's one of the star DPSs in Brazil. But Ignite saying, hey, I mean, Ignite just came in I guess it's been almost 2 months now, but Ignite were one of these teams that came in from the relegations. They weren't even the team that qualified at first, and they are impressing at this high level against a team like Parallax. And to see where they ended up, we can maybe take a look at these standings here right now with Parallax here at the top. Carnage right behind them in control there too. Also, Ignite Gaming 5-4, but performing at a great level, I think, beyond that what we've seen. But then below that, Fatal Ambition and Tempest team under them there, these two bottom teams that are actually playing each other next week. And one of those teams, again, this is Tempest team chance to maybe get a win, because Fatal and Tempest both can't find it against anybody else.
I think this was the only time where Ignite really showed us what they're made of. And yeah, they're at 4th place, but they basically are playing at the same level of Parallax Gaming. I know that Torv right now is sneaking through the meta, sneaking through those nooks and crannies, and we're seeing him, more and more into this full-on flankers compositions, full flankers meta. Working really well, works like a charm. But I think that's basically it. Remember, we're going to see each other for the PCML on Monday at noon. Remember, East time zone. Yes. And of course, the PPC on Thursday at 1 p.m. East time. So remember, we're going to be here on Twitch, Paladins Game. Thank you for watching. And for me and Chris, that's everything for today. Thank you, and arrivederci.